The most beloved thing with which my slave draws near to me is that which I have enjoined upon him. And my slave continues to draw near to me by performing supererogatory acts of worship, the nawāfil, until I love him. When I love him, I become his hearing with which he hears, his sight with which he sees, his hand with which he strikes, and his leg with which he walks. If he asks from me something, I will surely give it to him. And if he seeks my protection, I will surely protect him. So this is a very famous hadith, and in this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ informs us about this special category of the awliya, as Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ أَوْلِيَاءَ اللَّهِ لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, that the friends of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala have no fear and they have no sadness, because they are always in the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So what does that mean to be in the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? So this hadith is very instructive. First of all, Allah Ta'ala, or the Prophet ﷺ speaking on behalf of Allah Ta'ala, begins with this idea of protection, that the saints are protected from those who seek to harm them, because Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will handle that harm. So the friends of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala are not people of hatred. They're not people of combating people, yelling at people, arguing, debate. They don't do that kind of stuff. They're just with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will handle all of the other stuff. That's sort of the key component. That's why the hadith begins that way. And then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, on the tongue of the Prophet ﷺ, explains to us how does somebody arrive at that level. So the first thing is that the saintly person does the fard, does the things that they have to do. So it's not a magic wand. It's not like a magic pill. Like, I'm going to give you something special. If you do it and say it, you're going to be from the awliya. The awliya, they just show up 5 times a day for their prayer. They show up once a year for the month of Ramadan. If they have extra wealth, they give the zakat. If they're able to, they go into the hajj or the umrah, etc. It's as basic as that. It's as simple as that. Not basic. I mean to say it's as simple as that. Do what you have to do. If you do what you have to do consistently, then you are from the friends of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.